Hi, my name is Gabe Cruz. Welcome back to another video in our series on how to set a minimum level of proficiency for your testing program. Today we're going to be talking about subject matter expert interviews. It's a really good way of setting a minimum level of ability. It doesn't really cost anything but time, and it does yield a pretty reliable result. So let's dig in. The first step in this process is going to be to identify your subject matter experts. These are people that are intimately familiar with the job and its responsibilities. These could be people that are in the job, doing a good job. These can be managers, recruiters, again, anyone who's intimately familiar with the specific responsibilities of this position and what makes someone a qualified candidate. And the next step is going to be putting them through these series of steps. The first one is going to be sharing with them the criteria for, and we're going to talk about the ILR, Interagency Language Roundtable Proficiency Scale. You can use any scale, but for simplicity purposes, we're going to just focus on one. The Interagency Language Roundtable has really 3 levels of professional fluency. That's ILR 2, 2+, and 3. So we're going to share the criteria for each of those levels with the subject matter experts. And we're going to ask them one very simple question. Does this sample represent the skills of someone who can adequately perform the tasks and responsibilities of this job? Yes or no? Very simple. That's it. One question for each sample that you share for levels 2, 2+, and 3. Okay? The next step is going to be to find and share samples of speech if you're doing speaking and samples of writing if you're doing writing. Samples that are identified by professionals at those levels. So we want to find a sample of speech for ILR 2, ILR 2+, and ILR 3. And we can share a link to this because there are samples out there that have been determined to be representative of those levels. So we can share that link. Once you have those samples, you're going to ask them the same question. Does this sample sound like someone who can adequately perform the tasks and responsibilities of this position? Yes or no? All right, that's it. The same question for each sample. And then we go on to the final step. And the final step is asking them questions about this position, right? And this is the only place where it's really kind of, it's better to have someone who's unbiased and outside of the scope. But doesn't mean you have to, right? Better doesn't mean required, right? So what we want to do is ask them questions based on can-do statements. Every level or every proficiency scale has can-do statements. These are basically simplified descriptions of what someone can do with language if they have a specific level of ability, right? So ILR 2 has its own can-do statements, ILR 2+, and ILR 3. Each have unique can-do statements. And we're going to turn each can-do statement into a question. So if it says for one of them, let's say, can navigate effectively between past, present, and future tense. All right, I don't know if it says that. I'm just, that's a little freestyle. But we would change that to, does someone in this position have to effectively navigate between past, present, and future tenses? It's a question. Let's see how they answer it. And the only reason I say that it's better to have someone outside is because this is where your bias can come through a little bit. If you really want them to be an ILR 2 or a 2+ or 3, you can kind of make the questions a little more kind of geared to that. But again, there's no reason to say you have to do it that, and go up, bring someone else in. I think as long as you're aware of the bias, you can address it in an effective way. Once you have all these 3 steps completed, the next step is to just analyze the data. Tabulate who said what, and hopefully you'll start to see a pattern. Everyone seems to pick ILR 2+ in the criteria review. They stay with 2+ in the sample review, and then they stay with 2+ in the can-do statement review. Typically you'll get some people that are outliers, but the main population will stay together. And that's what you're looking for. And once you have that, you just put a little sentence at the end that says, after analysis of all the data, the group of subject matter experts have identified a recommended level of blank. And that's it. Stick that in a file that says, break in case of emergency. Hopefully you'll never need that, but if you do, you have it. It also should give you confidence that when you are making some tougher decisions about who to bring on and who not to bring on, that you're not just kind of winging it, that you are making the right call, and that will undoubtedly come into play. Because there are moments when, recruiters can get angry that you're not, hiring enough of their people, and you want to have that confidence that you're doing the right thing by everyone. And that's it. My name is Gabe Cruz, and I thank you for tuning in. I really hope this was of value to at least someone out there. I think we have a few more of these to do. Depending on how well this goes. We have gotten some really good feedback on this, so I'm really happy about that. I didn't think anyone would be interested, but apparently you are, and I'd love to be helpful. Whether you use Parrot or any other company, we're advocates for language and a bilingual workforce, and we are just thrilled to be adding value in any way that we can. So I wish you happy testing, and if there's ever anything that we can do for you, or you have some feedback on these videos or future videos, please just let us know. Best of luck, and again, happy testing.